Hello everyone, today I got myself a reworked setup. The 27-inch iMac has the best mixture of performance and price all packaged into a remarkable thin design. It is no doubt the most iconic desktop computer of all. Its display is cutting edge with super accurate color reproduction. I gotta tell you, despite nearly 2 years of owning the system, I still get goosebumps every time I wake it up. So, evidently, it would make sense to add some nifty internal and external upgrades for it. I looked no further than doubling the inborn memory and adding an external high-resolution display that's got the same 2560 x 1440 resolution. This display of course turned out to be Apple's own Thunderbolt Display. iMacs all come with 8GB of RAM and can go up until 32GB of ROM. I admit that I was a bit reluctant at first to add any more than the standard amount simply because I thought the i7 processor was going to be a real monster in terms of speed that would sort of compensate for the quarter full RAM. And I thought, right, this iMac is still one of the fastest Macs around and clearly the fastest all-in-one system imaginable. Fortunately enough, as of now, there is 16GB of RAM installed, which by the way was a real piece of cake to do. Now onto the display. The real purpose of adding more RAM and adding this display was to considerably increase multitasking. I constantly find myself editing many photos, working on large iBooks author files, playing graphics demanding games, using general mathematical softwares, watching numerous videos and clips, and surfing the web for hours. I also do video editing along with rendering when time allows. As large as an iMac display can be, I can speak for a lot of people when I say that after a good time of using the machine, it sort of becomes underwhelming and you want something bigger. The thing is, bigger in the tech world also means more power hungry. This is exactly when I felt lucky to have a high-end NVIDIA graphic card with 2GB of video RAM. More than enough to power this display. In fact, I could add an extra monitor to this kind and nothing would blow up. The display itself has a beautiful 2560 x 1440 panel with IPS technology. The Thunderbolt display isn't laminated to the glass like on iMac, and it is very reflective, which was an issue for me the very first minute I started using it. The rest of the spec sounds pretty good, such as FaceTime HD camera and a few last generation ports on the back. Its design is exemplary, and I mean it. There are no creaks when shaking or moving it, and it matches very well with every single Apple computer out there. I especially like the fact that it's a real docking solution. Any peripherals connected to the display will immediately show up on your main system. Screen quality is superb, but less color uniformed than on iMac. Again, this is a 3-year-old display we're talking about. It's tough, but most pro users would notice the differences that both monitors have and call out the iMac to be a little bit more natural looking or better calibrated. Don't get me wrong, dual monitor is a fantastic professional looking setup, but in my opinion, there simply isn't any other display out there that matches exactly the latest 27-inch iMac's screen quality. Apple is most likely at the cusp of releasing a 4K monitor which should look breathtaking. Genius Tech YouTube reviewer TLD Today talks about 4K and Mac in a video that I linked down below. In the end, I decided to return the monitor and go back to my original setup while keeping my eyes open for future third parties and Apple display technologies. Thanks for watching.